Hey guys, welcome back to another video. Welcome if you're new. I am Adrianne, and today we're going to finally be outside. We're going to be planting a few things that I've had sitting in nursery containers, maybe since the beginning of spring. It is what it is. We've been getting a tremendous amount of rain, and then with me being an educator, it's winding down. The school year is finally at an end. Yesterday was our official last day of school. And so I'm able to get out here and get some things done in the garden space. And it is much overdue. I, off camera, went ahead and weeded a lot of our beds because the weeds had taken over. I also noticed in our new flower bed that we created, quite a few grass sprigs coming up, and me and my husband both are like, how in the world is grass coming up in that? I don't know if maybe it's like overseeded where he seeded the back lawn and maybe it kind of got into there. We are treating it. I did use something to treat it. I'm not going to lie because I'm not going to get out there and pull all of that. I'll show you guys in a minute. It takes up to 14 days to take effect. So I am going to go in one more time and hit it again just to make sure, but we are only on day 7, and I can tell that the color is starting to fade out of it a little bit, so it's probably going to go. But I did want to show you guys this really beautiful flower bed right here. We created this flower bed last season. And I just weeded this bed, but we've been getting so much rain that the weeds are back. I'm just like, oh. Also the grass is back. I did have to make mention to my husband that we got to start weed eating around these things because the grass keeps creeping in there, and it's just making more work for me in the end. But everything else along the side flower bed up through the gate, everything's looking good. More geraniums and things. So everything's looking really good. Anyway, we're going to get some things in the ground today. I want to get some veronica planted probably over in this bed, and you can see all the little sprigs of green. That's grass, folks. That is grass. I have treated it, and like I said, I can see some of them are starting to brown out, so I'm going to go pick up some more of the treatment today and hit it again and see what happens. But man, and it would help if we would stop getting so much rain. It's great for the garden, but it also helps the weeds grow, and I'm not a fan. So I thought about planting the veronica right along the base here of this beautiful Royal Star Magnolia. This flower bed's doing really well. The green giant arborvitaes are starting to finally bulk up. They're all in a perfect little row. Um, but I see a tremendous amount of new growth, so the rain has done it some good. You can see the sprinkler systems. That is how we water things around here because nothing is really truly set up on drip irrigation yet at this home. So we're going to be planting some veronica, more veronica, because it's just beautiful. I want to get some, what do I else do I have? I have some brennera that I need to get in the ground, and I have some heuchera that I want to get in the ground. And I got some trash that I need to clean up, and you can see another pallet of mulch. We're not going to discuss how much mulch we've been using this season. But anyway, I really want to get some things transplanted, but I'm pretty sure that's not going to be in this video. However, if you see another video posted of me in the same clothes, just know it's the same day, just a different video. Because I really want to get on it because I do think we have rain in the forecast yet again. So I want to get some things done that really need to be done. So we got veronica, brennera, and heuchera. That sounds like a plan. So it'll probably be a short and sweet video. Let's get into it. Okay, you guys, and here is the area that we're going to be planting in today. It is so beautiful under here. And sorry for the harsh light. There is like a tiny sliver that light can get in super early in the morning. And then probably in the next hour or so, the light is gone and we are in completely deep dark shade over here. It feels amazing over here no matter what time of day I'm out here. Um, this area is just coming along so gorgeous to me. I love walking down here. And I just love walking down here and taking a look at everything. So we're going to get a couple of heuchera in the ground. This is where we're going to be planting the brunnera. And I am not quite sure. The sedum will probably go up the hill in a more shadier location. So let me just show you around real quick. So look at that. Aren't they just beautiful? Oh, the oak leaf hydrangeas. I just cannot get enough of this. I just cannot. Now, like I said, we've been having some storms, so there are some limbs down. I have not been able to get out here and get anything cleaned up. The hellebores, probably will go ahead and shape some of these up and cut off some of the old blooms on them. But look up through there, all the ferns and the hostas popping up around the walkway. Oh, it's just beautiful. I will probably come through here and blow the walkway off. There is one of these pavers too that I need to come out here and re-level. It's a little bit rocky because it has settled so much. But look at that hosta. Isn't that beautiful? Oh, I love that coloring. Just gorgeous. Everything is beautiful. I did go through here, mulch a little bit the other day, and then I got caught by a thunderstorm, so I had to stop. Um, but I came through here, edged the bed, and mulched it. And I also planted some ridiculous coleus throughout here because this bed was lacking the purples and the reds. Now I do have some transplanted heuchera down here that I'm probably shading out right now, if you can see it. Right along in here, there's a couple of cans that I need to go and plant, but these are transplanted. The purple varieties do very well for me here in the South where I am. I don't have very much success with other ones, but the more darker varieties, I have tremendous success with. So I will continue to grow those in our garden space for sure. Here's more coleus. There is my drama queen. She's a little less dramatic now. That's my penny mac hydrangea. She looks so much better. And then you can see right along in here is where I did the soft caress mahonia and more hostas. So we got all the coleus. See, I've just got it dotted all along through here. The pops of red. I think it'll be beautiful coming up out of the soft caress mahonia, which is that really beautiful lacy ferny texture that I am just obsessing over. Ever since I saw them planted in mass at Disney last year, you guys, I have just been like, woo, I got to get some more of these. I've had them in here, just not quite as many. So that's a really beautiful, beautiful look right here on the corner. And the hose, because this area is watered by overhead sprinklers. Also, I did plant a rhododendron in here, you guys, and it should get pretty massive, but right now it's right behind that Empress Wu hosta over there. So sorry if you can hear the train in the background. Hopefully this new mic is kind of helping out a little bit. But the rhododendron should get to be about 8 feet tall and about as wide. It says 8 to 10 feet, which is what I want. I just want it to just engulf that whole little back corner. Hopefully it'll help suppress the weeds and the little mini things that try to grow back there. And they bloom beautifully in the shade here, like most rhododendrons do. I'm not a huge fan of rhododendrons, mostly because their leaves tend to look a little powdery and mildewy to me towards the end of the season. But I am praying that this one pulls through because it's a gorgeous variety. If I can think of it, I will insert a picture of it right now so you guys can see it. And my red bud is doing beautifully right there as well. It's put on a ton of growth being over here in the shade compared to the other one that's in the sun. It's put on a lot of growth too, but I feel like this one is growing really quickly. So anyway, enough chit chat. Let's get these things planted. All right, you guys, here are the finished results. Sorry about the hose. It is what it is. It's just part of the working mechanics. I will come back over here and slide it back in the flower bed and cover it up with the mulch, though. That's how I kind of keep it hidden. But here they are. So this is a Jack of Diamonds. I don't think I showed you guys what they were initially at the beginning of the video, but here they are now in the ground. These are Jack of Diamonds, and I will pop the stats up on the screen. Now, there was one that was already here, and it is that one right there. And you can kind of tell because the shape of the leaf is just a wee bit different than the Jack of Diamonds. That is a Queen of Hearts that I found back here in the flower bed from a couple of years ago, where I've had quite a few of them back here, and they all died out. Oddly enough, this one just keeps coming back because it has a will to live, and I'm going to let it do its thing out here. So I just planted it up with the Jack of Diamonds. I think they'll be a beautiful little drift right here. I did plant them relatively close together, and I did it purposefully because I just wanted it to look like a thick clump of all these beautiful variegated um, foliage just emerging out of the ground right here. Let me give you a little closer look here. Look at that. Isn't it just beautiful? I have a couple more up front that are of different variety. Can't quite remember which variety they are, but they are doing their things up there. However, they're going to get swallowed up by the monkey grass or the ryepe that's up there because the ryepe is quite a bit taller than the brunnera is currently in itself. And it's only two of them up there. Excuse me. I'm sorry for the sniffling, but something's got my nose irritated. But there's only a couple of them back there, so it would only make sense to me just to continue and finish up my drift right around in here. Now, this area does get dappled shade, so it's enough for it. Actually, it will get just a wee bit more sunlight than this later on, but not a tremendous amount because we are underneath the canopy of some very large oak trees. There's a tulip poplar and quite a number of other variety of trees right here. So it does get really decent shade. So all the hostas and everything will be happy right here. And it's also enough sun and shade to keep my Penny Mac very happy. This is the best she's ever looked, you guys, FYI. The best. I think she's going to love her new home right here on the corner. That pot is a Goodwill find too. We went to a little bougier part of town just to check out and see how their thrift stores look. And it's kind of lackluster, if I'm being honest. But I did find me a nice little pot. All right, so carrying on around here is where I put the wildberry heuchera. I will also put the stats of those up. But look how beautiful in contrast that is compared to the hosta right there. That hosta is, give me a minute, Autumn Frost. It's gorgeous. It is absolutely beautiful. Now, I did transplant these earlier in the season as well, so it does take them a little bit of time to kind of catch up and get a little bit acclimated, but they're doing beautifully since their transplant. And the Hakanakloa back there is looking really nice too, I might add. That's all gold variety. I have a variegated variety. It's not coming back as hardy as this one is, which is a shame because the variegated variety is quite beautiful. And you guys, if you can't grow all gold, there is a Carax that you can get. They sell it every year. It's part of the one that I get is part of the Southern Living Plant Collection, but it's beautiful gold and it has the same texture as this Hakanakloa right here. So just a FYI. But look at the mixture of the two right here. See how beautiful that is with the variegated foliage against that purple. It's quite striking. And then we have more variegation over here with the lungwort. These are just different varieties of lungwort. I have, there's Trevi Fountain, there's Spot On, there's Peekaboo, and then there is a new one that looks like it's got powdery mildew. And I cannot remember the name of that new one, but I got it from Home Depot. Twinkle Toes, I think is the name of that one. Right there. I'm gonna have to check that out. It may just be dust and debris. It looks like dirt kicked up from before I started mulching out here and we kept getting all the heavy rains. I don't think that's powdery mildew at all. So y'all, I don't remember. That's the one that I planted, and then that's the other one that I just planted. It's just a beautiful little bed. It's definitely starting to take shape over here, and I'm very pleased with it. I'm quite tickled. All right, you guys, and right here are the Magic Show Wizard of Oz, Veronica. I think the other ones I showed you earlier in the video were the Magic Show white wands. So they're all part of the Magic Show series. But these, when they were in bloom, were absolutely gorgeous. They do look like they're pushing out some more blooms. You guys, I completely forgot during some of these rainstorms to come. They were sitting in my wagon, and you know the wagon holds water. So needless to say, these are completely waterlogged. I will not be watering these bad boys in. They have more than enough water probably for the rest of the week, if I'm being honest. I will come out here and direct the sprinklers elsewhere so that they can get my magnolia tree back there. But other than that, these babies do not need any more water. They actually were starting to have a little bit of an odor to them. So hopefully they'll snap out of it, they'll pull through it, and they'll be perfectly fine and just as beautiful as the white ones across the way from them. I did want to bring these over here to this section so that some of the purple would be on this side of the flower bed as well, because I don't have any perennials in this bed yet, you guys. Or all I have are shrubs and trees, evergreens and deciduous. I really want to amp up the evergreen game, you guys, in our garden spaces so that we have year-round seasonal interest. But goodness, thank God it's dying out, though. I can see that it's dying out, but that just bothers me, all that grass popping up like that. Ooh-wee. Anyway, what can you do? All right, you guys, and I think this is going to wrap up today's video. Thank you all so much for stopping by, hanging out with me, and the pup in the garden space today. I appreciate you so much. If you're enjoying this content, don't forget to hit that like button also, and that subscribe button. It's totally free to do so. Also, don't forget to share it with some of your gardening friends who may enjoy the content as well. And I will see you all in the next video. Bye.